Hi, my name is Jennifer Rose, and I'm here today to speak to you guys in honor of KYMfest, which is a festival that they throw once a year in honor of their sister Kim, who was tragically taken a few years back from them due to domestic violence. They have started a program which is absolutely beautiful, a network program that is called Net for You, which is a nonprofit organization that helps survivors in all sorts of areas of trauma and domestic violence and all sorts of things. And it's full of love and compassion and all these loops that we have needed for years and years to be able to help survivors in a variety of ways. I am actually the first in the state of Idaho to have my face reconstructed from domestic violence and assault. I started my surgeries in 2004, and I have had 15 surgeries, with my very last one back in December, which I had a 5-hour surgery, facial surgery again on my face. When I was 18 years old, I moved to KYM, Idaho. I was a little beach gal that was free and full of life, and I moved up to the mountains, and I met a young man who was a mountain man, and I had no idea what I was walking into. I did not know any areas, or in any way was I aware of violence or signs. I was raised in a pretty good family. The first couple years was really good. We went all over the place, and I was just falling madly in love with this young man. But I started noticing that his temper was coming on really strong, and he was really moody and started yelling and screaming at me. And before you know it, I was right flat center in a horrible, abusive life, which after so many years, I didn't know any other way to live. I was beaten horribly on my face and my body. I have scars all over my face from the damage that he did to me. I suffered really bad. I was a broken woman who didn't know any other way to live. I learned how to hide this, my physical abuse and my emotional abuse, quite well after about my first 5 years of going through it. I was ashamed. I didn't want anybody else to know what had happened or what was happening to me. Back then in the 80s and the 90s, and still, there wasn't any help back then. And bear with me as I share my journey with you. It is so very hard to go back into this time. I have severe post-traumatic stress disorder, and as soon as I start talking about all of this, everything just crops up. And bear with me while I'm filming this too. It's all new to me, having to do it this way rather than to speak to a variety of people that are right in front of me. Anyways, I finally escaped my abuser after 7 years. I had a 1-year-old son, and when he started getting abusive with him, I knew that I had to run for my life, which I did. But for many years after I got away, he was still able to get back at me, and I had several restraining orders on him. I would have reached out if there was any help, but there was not any help. So in 2004, I was now in my 30s, and I finally did open up and was able to get enough help and apply for the programs Give Back a Smile and Face to Face. I was accepted, and I am the first one in the state of Idaho to begin this program. Being very honored, I became an advocate, and I was speaking, starting to speak all over on behalf of domestic violence, and I just grew. I started teaching myself tools and lots of praying and crying and just trying to get where I needed to be to try to help others. Not only helping others helped me, with my soul and with my spirit. It was my passion and still is my passion to help as much as I can. 1 year after all of my surgeries, which I did have 5 on my face, and started to reconstruct my body, in 2006 I was assaulted by unknown hands. This put me back 3 years. It took me to try to even come back to reality. I began drinking very much to try to kill the pain, and there still wasn't the proper help that we needed. Every person has a different story. Every person needs different help in different ways. Although it is one large circle of trauma, there is different avenues and different loops that people need for their own self-being. I actually got severely hurt when I was assaulted by unknown hands. I do have some pictures that I wanted to share with you. First, of when I had my first surgeries from Give Back a Smile and face-to-face programs. This is my before picture. If you can see that, I wanted to share it. I was very tired and very worn out. I was only in my 30s, and I look like I'm in my 60s. This is what I looked like when I did escape my abuser. It didn't even look like me. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. I was so traumatized. This is halfway done, and this is when I was done in 2005. So being on top of everything and speaking, and that's what I was saying in 2006. And this is quite graphic, and bear with me as I go through this too. But this is what happened to me in 2006, where they re-broke my nose. I was hurt really, really bad, and I fought so hard that I pulled every muscle in my body. Every single muscle was pulled. So the 3 years that I spent trying to get back into reality, I finally went back to the advocates and the nonprofit organization that helped me all the way through these traumas. And they worked really hard with me to bring me back where I just learned about post-traumatic stress disorder back then. It was just coming out. They were doing everything that they could just to bring me back to work with me so that I could function again in the world. And I worked very hard at it, and I started having more surgeries, and I've had 15 surgeries to this day. It's been a very long haul, but I am an inspirational speaker, and I am a very proud advocate for domestic violence and assault and trauma. This is a very long haul, but it also has been a beautiful journey where I had to relearn what was beautiful, starting out with just the trees blowing. Or I was at a point where, when this all happened right after my assault, that I did not want to exist. I didn't want to die, but I just did not want to exist any longer. So I had to make a choice. In order not to exist meant that I would have to die. And that's when I came to reality within my heart and my spirit that I did not want to die, that I needed help. And I needed proper help. And at that time, in 2006, they still just had a few areas of trying to help. They for the longest time, they needed a big variety, like For You Network provides, which is absolutely wonderful. This is what we need to reach others. This is what we need to help. They're absolutely a beautiful family that has put this all together, and I'm so very proud of them and myself, and all of you that are here today at KYMfest, in honor of Kim. I want to thank you guys, for taking the time to do this, and let's help in any way that we can to for Kim's sisters to build this even bigger and stronger. And you are beautiful, and I've been a little nervous each time I try to talk back into my past. It can be traumatic. So I made it through, yay! And thank you guys again, and thank you, Kim and Kim's sisters and family, for all that you do. Be strong. You're beautiful. Thank you for bearing with me, and God bless.